Hey guys, let's talk about last night's episode of Person of Interest. And wow, I mean, the show is on a roll right now. And there seems to be a theme happening, which is how can the machine link into what is going on with Carter and this overall story with HR? And it's a doozy. It's amazing. And the last two episodes, all the cases seem to merge together. And once again, it did it this week. So, the case of the week is about a man who's a therapist, and he's basically a scam artist. And he's getting people to tell them personal things and names, and he's using those personal pieces of information to hack into their security codes and get access to their bank accounts. So, basically, it's Conman 101. And he has a girlfriend who he loves dearly, and he's basically like, listen, honey, when we get enough money, we're going to leave this place and we're going to ride off in the sunset together. I promise. There's one big problem. He's been stealing from HR. And we all know HR, you don't play with them. So one of his clients, his name is Sven, and he basically was laundering money for HR. And he had an antique business, and they were doing this huge scheme where they would basically bid on fraudulent items and at ridiculous amounts of money, and then they would launder the money back through the antique business and then basically sell the items in the store for like $5. Great scheme. However, when the therapist started to scheme from HR, they were not having any of it. So that is how the ball got rolling, and that is how these two stories linked up. Because, of course, Reese, Shaw, and Harold were all tracking the therapist and trying to save him. So when it turned out that they were linked to Sven, who was linked to HR, which then linked them to Carter, because Carter was following the guy who was laundering the money, it all went up in smoke. So Lasky, who was basically Carter's rookie, who she put on blast a couple episodes and was basically like, you're working for me now, was asked by HR to take out Sven. And of course, he doesn't want to do this. Like this isn't what he signed up for, okay? And he basically goes to Carter and he's like, this is what they want me to do. So she enlists Fosco and they basically stage what looks like a murder scene. And they make it look as though Lasky has killed this, the owner of the antique shop. And of course, everybody at HR is not pleased because what happened earlier on in the episode was the therapist basically hacked into Sven's emails, and he was told to bid on an item number 424, but he changed it to 426. And so what he ended up betting on was a baseball signed by all of the New York Yankees, or one of those famous baseball teams from back in the day, and it was worth $4.4 million. But he's thinking he's bidding on this and it's like a dud, that it's not really worth anything. So he basically puts it in his shop and some kid rolls in, gives him $5 and takes the baseball. So now the people at HR are like, are you kidding me? We need to get this baseball. And Lasky basically tells them, I'm sorry, I've already killed him like you guys told me to do, so we can't find out where the ball is. So now it turns out that the therapist actually paid the kid to buy the ball. So he gives the kid $20 to give him back the real ball. So now he's walking around thinking he's got this real ball that's worth $4.4 million. Little does he know that his girlfriend was scamming him the entire time and basically paid the kid to give him a fake ball and give her the real ball. So she gives the kid $100 and the kid gives her the real ball, which is worth $4.4 million. And the therapist realizes, oh my God, I got played. But he's like, I really loved you. And she's just like, whatever, I don't care. The person who I'm really upset with in all this is the kid. So the kid's sitting on a $4.4 million and he's sitting there with his little stand, like smiling like he just won the lottery, winning $100. Honey, you had a $4.4 million in your pocket. Anyway, so of course everyone at HR is PO'd. Everybody, the therapist is PO'd. Sven is like, I'm out, because everyone thinks he's dead, so he got off scot-free. And then we find out now that Simmons is basically telling one of their guys whose name is Tierney, that he needs to find this ball immediately or else we are all dead, basically. And so he says, you go and get Lasky and you track down this ball and we need it now. So Terry goes to Lasky's place and overhears Lasky talking to Carter. So all of a sudden it's bam, everybody's drawing their guns. Carter's basically saying, you're up to no good and we all know it and now you're about to get caught. And this Terry guy is basically spouting off about, oh, I knew you were, that she would turn you and, you're just a wimp and you're just like this pathetic rookie cop. And basically he's like, this ends now. And then Carter's like, well, this is the last threat you're going to make. All of a sudden, bullets start flying. Terry's shot. The poor Lasky's shot and dies. So, I kind of like this kid. I thought, okay, he's now working for the good side. Maybe we'll get a little bit more out of him, but not so much. Obviously, this goes again to show you how dangerous this HR organization is, and they need to be taken out. So earlier on in the episode, Carter sat down and had coffee with this man named Mr. Quinn. And little does she know, Mr. Quinn is the head of HR. And Quinn was, I believe, the uncle of or godfather of Cal, who was murdered last season, who Carter was dating and is still trying to figure out exactly why he was murdered. So she was sitting down and having coffee with the head of HR and didn't realize it until the very last scene when she basically asks Terry, who is the head of this beast? Like, please tell me. And he kind of like schlubs his arm down and it points to the picture and it's there he is, Mr. Quinn. So she has this look on her face like, say what now? So it should be very interesting to see what happens going forward now that she knows who the head of HR is. Oh, and on another note, nobody knows this, but Carter is still sitting down having secret meetings with Elias, which is very interesting. So we'll see where that goes and what happens there, because as we know, Elias and Reese have this very tumultuous relationship. So when Reese finds out, I don't think he's going to be very pleased. But I like that Carter hasn't told anybody about that. So that should play into some further episodes, which is going to be great. Again, guys, this was another really good episode of Person of Interest. They are really, really stepping up their game this season. I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, guys, that's the end of my review. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.